Hello there, everyone. How art thou? Yes. CC Clemens, Vibin' Weirdo. Interesting video we will be dropping today. So, for those of you that are new, I know the algorithm is probably going crazy right now with this topic, but my name is CC Clemens. I do reaction videos. My niche is movies, movie trailers, movie reactions. I love movies. I'm a crackhead for movies, action, Wonder Woman, Justice League, which has Wonder Woman in it. So as you get, Wonder Woman is the vibe. But sometimes you just gotta make an exception for certain things. And this one is going to be that. This is going to be that video. If you are into that kind of thing, movie reviews, reactions, TikTok cringe videos, things of that sort, go ahead and just look at my roster. And if you dig the vibe, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Yes. So, I was woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning with some wonderful news that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock on national television at the Oscars. And I was like, it woke me up. I was immediately woken up like, what? I was a zombie, but now I'm like human again versus zombie because
shame.
So I immediately went to YouTube and it's crazy. Everybody's been talking about it all day. So what I'm going to do is just kind of just play the like 1 minute, 23-second clip and then just kind of give you guys my thoughts on it because this is crazy. Crazy. And also funny, but you know, we'll get there. What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Shame.
All right, let's get into it.
You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win. He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
It was at that moment.
That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Woo.
Get my name out your fucking mouth. Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay?
It was at that moment. It was like, oh. See, at first I thought this was staged. I did. But when he said, keep my wife's name out your mouth, I was like, oh, he's giving serious right now. So.
Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
All right. So there were some other parts after that that I'm not gonna bother with reacting to or recording it because I know you guys have seen it like I have. I've already like looked at it. But my thoughts on that. I didn't like the way Will handled that. I don't. Now, just for some context, we don't know the full context. I don't know if Will has spoken to Chris Rock directly and said, don't talk about my wife. Don't joke about... I don't know if he's had those conversations before. I know Chris Rock, I saw some videos where he's made jokes about her before at the Oscars. So, I don't know the full context of their relationship and, like, talking about Jada. But if I just put that aside and just go off of what I've seen, what I've heard, I feel like Will Smith had a lot of collective resentment and anger with everything that's happened over the last year or two after the entanglement news came out with Jada. And Chris Rock, he made a joke. It wasn't really super funny. It was cool, I get it, the buzz cut, which is, you know, we'll get into that a little later. But I didn't feel like the joke was bad enough for him to go up and slap him. But I just feel like he had a lot of built up emotions, and then Chris Rock just said something that triggered him, and then he just snapped on him. He just transferred the energy from all the other things people have been saying about his wife and just transferred it to him. So on that part, I feel like that's unfair. Again, if they've had conversations before, warnings or whatever, okay, that's different. But just from my point of view, from what I've seen and heard, I feel like that's unfair. Now, initially, it looked like he was laughing at the joke, and then Jada, she was not in it at all. She wasn't in it at all, giving very unhappy, right? I'm guessing he either, it was only two options. He was I think he was either genuinely laughing, and then when he saw her reaction, it like switched him, or he was fake laughing. You know, some people, he's an actor. I fake laugh, not all the time, but everyone can fake laugh. So I initially thought when I saw the slap, I was like, oh, he wasn't really laughing. He was fake laughing and just trying to, because a lot of times some jokes at the Oscars or at award shows, they just don't land. But to keep the vibe up, you'll just laugh and go along with it, just to not kill the mood. So I'm not 100% sure if he was doing that or if he really thought it was funny, and then it just switched when he saw Jada. That's him. That's his own emotions, his own personal thing. But regardless, that joke did not land well with Jada at all. She didn't pretend like it did. She was like, mm-mm. And then Will came up there and just, yeet! That man said, yeet! When that happened, I was like, oh, okay. But when he sat down and said, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth, it really made me think like, okay, this is real. And then you can see the Lupita, I don't know her last name, you can see her face like, oh, and like the whole mood of the room shifts when he says that. It was like, oh, this is reality. So, yeah, I'm not with Will on how he handled that. Like, it was a punk move, in my opinion. Like, this man is in a vulnerable spot on an award show, has his hands, what was it, behind his back or just down. He's not threatening you physically. I feel like if someone's not threatening you physically, you shouldn't threaten them physically, or you shouldn't hit them or touch them physically. That's my opinion. I feel like the only way I'm putting my hands on someone is if I have to defend myself. And he was just standing there and he just smacked him. That's a punk move. That's not a fair fight. Where he wasn't bracing himself for it. It wasn't like a boxing match or something like that. So I felt like that was kind of whack how he just slapped him out of nowhere. Like, yeah, you're gonna get it in, because he wasn't expecting that. That's lame to me. I don't like that. Yeah, he made a joke about her hair, and we know, well, not everyone, and maybe he didn't know, Chris Rock, but Jada, she struggles with alopecia. And I actually didn't know this, I think, until like the last year or so. I just thought she rocked the low cut because she could, and she looked great when she does it. Like, she really does look good with short cut hair. Willow, she does it too. I don't know if it's in support of her mom. And she looks good. She looks okay. Not as dope as her mom, though, with the buzz cut. But regardless, it's not something that, women's hair is very important to them. It's important to me. My hair is looking rough right now because I just refused to cut my hair when I got my locks. I was like, instant lock them things. It's going to look messy or whatever, but I just refuse to cut it. So I know how important hair is to women. So making that joke when you struggle with something that you can't control, I can see how that can be very triggering. Now, to the point where your husband, who doesn't have alopecia, goes up and just smacks someone. That was a bit out of line. Don't get me wrong. I understand why and what led up to it. And those feelings are valid. Those feelings are very valid. But the action is not. That's not cool. It's just ghetto. And for me, it fills in black stereotypes. And I get tired of that. We're violent. We're loud. We're angry. We don't know how to act. Things like that. I don't like filling in that narrative or that stereotype. And I feel like that's exactly what happened up there. But Chris Rock, he took it like a champ, in my opinion. He stumbled a little bit where he said we're given a documentary, and he corrected himself in award for a documentary. Hey, I would stumble too. I will stumble too. If I got slapped in the face, there's like a million things going through my mind of what I would want to do, can do, can't do, all that stuff. So yeah, he stumbled a little bit, but like overall, I think he took it like a champ and like did his very best to keep the show going. Then he made a joke about it because he's a comedian. But in my opinion, if you can't take a joke, I wouldn't recommend going to shows like that. Because at the Oscars, Academy Awards, like that's all they do. That's the only thing that really keeps it entertaining besides people winning the awards. That's kind of boring, really. So people making jokes of the audience, things like that, that's a part of it. So if you feel like if you don't want to have anything being said about you, period, at all, especially when you're that famous, don't go. And the thing is, the sad thing is, I'm just looking at the videos and comments. People are still keeping Jada's name in their mouths. They're still talking about, oh, he's so mad, still defending her after she cheated. And it's like, hold up. First of all, Will said that Jada has not cheated on him. First of all, they are both in an open relationship. Now, that's not something that I desire or will ever do. Because that's just me. That's my taste. That's my preference. But they both have an agreement to be in an open relationship. And the whole August Alsina, whatever his name is, Will was very aware of that. Now, he was embarrassed that it came out and was public. Which, there's details on like that. Whatever. But it happened. Okay? You can't control it. August did what he did. It's done. And she addressed it. He addressed it. And people are bashing her. Just bashing her. Oh, she's terrible. She's a cheater. Oh, he's always having to defend her. Stuff like they're both doing the same exact thing. It's just hers is aired out and his is not. That's all. So please, it don't matter. People are gonna do what they do. But Jada did not cheat on her husband. They are in an open relationship. Now, if you are against an open relationship, okay, that's your preference. But if they both are in an open relationship and they both are communicating with the partners that they're sleeping with, that's not cheating. That may be cheating for you because you wouldn't want your significant other being with other men and vice versa. But for them, that's not cheating. Now, there may be some harboring feelings and effects with it, like jealousy, but cheating to me is when you make a promise to not engage with other people, right? On a sexual level, but you do. You lie. They're not lying. So, this whole she's cheating, throw that out the window, stop. We gotta be a little smarter than that. But regardless of everything, I feel like the slap was wrong. I definitely understand where he was coming from, but the way he did it was just very... it was just weak to me. That's a punk move. Slapping somebody when they don't expect it. Not cool, man. Not cool. Moral of the story, watch certain jokes that you say. Some of them may not land well. And again, Chris Rock may not have known she was struggling with alopecia. I really hope he didn't, because if he did, it's you knew and you still, it's a very touchy subject there. But it'll make it harder for comedians to kind of just be free to do what they've been doing. I don't know if it's going to stop. Chris Rock, you could tell he was holding back, making several other jokes or mentions. He was holding himself back from doing that. You could tell, because he is such a comedian. In that moment, he had other things lined up. That's what comedians do. But there are certain things you maybe shouldn't joke about, especially understanding the context. I will say that. But yeah, don't just have a conversation. Have a mutual adult conversation. Hey, I did not appreciate that. Don't do that again. I will smack the life out of you. Now, if you already had that discussion, okay, all right, okay. But if not, have that conversation first. Warn him. Warning. And you know me, I like violence. I love destruction, domination. Violence is the answer. But in this case, it wasn't for me. I'm not violent like that. Gotta be reasonable. But really, all I think the main reason, the issue behind this is like they weren't drinking water. That's what I really think is the main problem. I don't think Chris Rock drank enough water or Will Smith drank enough water. Jada, she's not really the important subject here because she didn't commit any actions. But they just needed to drink more water, and they probably would have been cooled off and not had any issues. So if you didn't know, water pretty much cures everything. Like if the world was ending, the water would stop it from ending. So yeah, and that's a scientific fact. So I just wanted to let you guys know. Those are my thoughts. Again, for those of you who are new, this is not my niche. This is not something I normally react or respond to. But it's just crazy. It's crazy and it was hard to resist not to share some sort of feedback on it. So I thank you guys for watching. If you're into the movie reactions, reviews, gameplay, trailer, reaction reviews, things of that sort, action scenes, stuff like that, feel free to look at my other videos and, you know, subscribe if you're feeling it. And always drink your water. Drink it. Drink that water. So good for you. So good for you. All right, and that is all. No more celebrity gossip talk. So, peace.